So we're gonna go over the whole Planet of the Bass thing, basically. So I really like this whole song. I like the original, I guess it's TikTok or short or whatever, of Planet of the Bass. I love that. And I just love the whole energy of it. So basically the first one played with Billijana Electronica, or right? And they're playing in the Oculus, which is a mall in New York. It's like a fancy mall. John Wick 2 was actually shot there, where they're like walking and he was like going, and like one, I think Keanu's up there and another guy's down there. Like it's been in movies and stuff actually, but it does have like a unique kind of 90s music video look to it. When they shot it, I was like, oh, that's a perfect use of that location. But it's like a mall where you catch trains and stuff. They made good use of that location. It looked like one of those videos back then. I absolutely fucking loved it. I love the like how is what is it? The how is the dream? What does it mean? Like that's like so almost like David Lynch movies be like. I love the girl who's Audrey Trollinger, who's Bellagio Electronica. She sold it so well. I thought she was like amazing. Like she played it perfectly. Like I totally believe she was one of those 90s girls and stuff like that. And this was all done by comedian Kyle Gordon. He is DJ Crazy Times, but his like girl is my favorite guy 6. I'm wanting more, tell the world to stop the war. Just perfect. And I like that. It's like I was thinking about this like months ago. Like Andy Kaufman is famous for Latka, and Latka was a character who like you couldn't do today because that'd be offensive. But I like that he did this, and it's not, I don't think, like mean-spirited, because like oftentimes like Max Martin, who produced a lot of the Britney Spears stuff, like Hit Me Baby One More Time, and like if you look at some of his lyrics, like it doesn't really make sense. And I think that he's sort of like making fun of that idea, as well as what would happen later, other 90s ideas. This is not a direct Europop parody. It's sort of a parody of like dance pop and all these things. And like, I think people have been like, oh, that was true in Europop. And I'm like, what examples are there? But so he made the first one, which is a short, which is just like the first verse and DJ Crazy Times little, or I guess it's a chorus and then DJ Crazy Times verse. Then we got the second one, which is Belania with Mara Only. This was probably the worst one. I didn't really like her very much. It was a different energy. I understand like artists would sometimes make several different videos of the same song. That happened a lot on MTV back in the day, more so than people realize, but she just didn't bring the right energy. It didn't really work as well. The second Doctor Who came out back in the day. Like people didn't appreciate him at the time, but like after Pertwee, people were like, the second one was pretty good. And third, we got the Bellagio 3 by Sabrina Breyer, who I think is Breyer. She's a really good comedian. I thought she did a good job. She did this stuff with her hands, like while she was doing, like, I can't talent. You have to be a talented comedian to do that. Or she did like this, like, and I thought she actually was decent. But the music video was coming out. Everyone was excited about Kyle Gordon as DJ Crazy Times, is all the same person. And right before the music video came out, he did do an interview and he explained like what was going on. He mainly had the girls change because CNC Music Factory and stuff, where they'd have Martha Wash singing Everybody Dance Now and stuff, and like all these like larger black performers, and then they have like a skinny little model doing the music video. And that was like sort of, he's kind of like picking and choosing things, but I think it ultimately works. The music video, we had the original Bellagio Electronica Audrey Tollinger back, and I assumed in this music video, which is great, it's very 90s, very perfect. Not as perfect as I think the first short was the best thing, but it was wonderful. It was like this culmination of the whole thing. It was great. I loved it. She's dancing with aliens. DJ Crazy Times is great in it. It's like very 90s, early 2000s music video. But I thought Audrey Tollinger was the person who sang this song. I really did. Even she played it when they played at the Jonas Brothers concert, which Jonas Brothers are fans. They played for the Jonas Brothers. I thought, oh, she's singing, because I saw shorts of it. She is not. The vocalist, the person who is singing, How Does It Mean, is Chrissy Poland. It is none of these women. None of them. The original Bellagio Electronica did not sing the song. I'm sorry to tell you all this. I don't think it's that much of a shock. I was shocked when I looked this up today. I was like, how can this be? I don't understand it. I'm glad they have the original back. I think she's perfect, but I hope I need to check out more Chrissy Poland because she did a great job. We should probably all follow her. Maybe I'll have each of these girls' TikToks in the description of this video. Yeah, I was shocked by that. However, I think the music video is really great. It was almost a culmination of all of it. Like, you follow this whole drama. It's an excellent parody, but it's a parody that accentuates a lot of the things about the 90s. And I think a good parody of like Bill Clinton on SNL or Dana Carvey doing George Bush. It's like you accentuate certain things to make it like even funnier, and I think they did that in the right way. Like, I love, you can listen, if you go to the music video, you can find it on Spotify. I've been listening to it a lot. I really like the song. It's fun as a joke, but it's also like a good bop, as the kids say. It's just so much fun. But I'm glad the original Biljana Electronica is back, even if she didn't sing the song. I saw that Amy Poehler sang along with it, which everyone who worked on it seems really happy with. This is a very unique, wonderful song. I think they sort of nailed it with the first one, but I actually liked going through the whole journey of it. As someone who is terminally online, I really did like following the whole thing. It was fun. It was a fun era. I don't think we can do anything more with this. Maybe do an actual remix, which I think you could get away with, but I sort of think it's like, how could you top that music video? How could you top any of it? Yeah, it was the most fun song of the summer, I would say that, but he definitely like milked the song as much as he could. Yeah, Kyle Gordon did an amazing job with this whole bit. It really worked out. It's really just the same song, which they kept making interesting and kept making a song about. I did like when they'd have the different girls. People would always post like, "You're not my real mom" and stuff. Like, that was really funny. Just like a fun thing to go through. I think it's just a fun, wonderful thing. I love the use of the Oculus. I think they're all in New York locations, but the Oculus was just like absolutely perfect, and like she just sold it so well. And watching all those people being confused at the Jonas Brothers concert, I do think it's funny. There's so many people I know who don't know what this is at all. And then I go on, like, the Twitter video has like 100 million views, but I think it's maybe like 1 million people watching it 100 times, because there's so many people don't know what this is. And then there's everyone else who's like obsessed with it. Like, if you're into it, you're into it. But it's just such a great thing of like the Europop stuff and the dance stuff, and like the idea of like, in the 90s, people were like world peace, and they'd sort of joke about it, but they're like, hey, maybe. And now it's like, that's like that. I think it plays well because you don't get depressed that like people thought world peace was like attainable a little bit, even as a joke. And it's like all like kind of like funny. I think it's like funny and harmless in a perfect 90s way, and I think that's sort of what worked about it. But it also like captures that so well. I think Audrey Tollinger deserves a lot of credit for selling as well as it does. The outfit is like perfectly 90s, or like late 90s. I think when people say perfectly 90s, to me, like the 90s was like grunge and alternative music, and then pop came in like late 98. It's so perfect at it. I love this. I hope Kyle Gordon continues to make really good stuff. I like him on TikTok. He's doing some great stuff there, but this is a lot of fun. It's definitely one of my favorite pieces of media this summer, absolutely. And I think it's also like, I love how they use the Oculus. I even like the music video. Those are the ones I watch the most. 2 and 3, I think 2 is the worst. I think 3 is like better, but to me it's like the original, the first impression and that music video. And I like watching her dance with the aliens and all that, but like how she sells like, how does it mean, just kills me every time. Just wonderful. And I'm so glad I got to experience this summer. One of the better viral videos of recent memory. It captured all of us, but I think all of us in a nice, fun way. It didn't reveal some like haunting truth. The only haunting truth we all have to live with is Europop and dance music of the 90s, and that's a haunting truth I'm very happy to dance with at any time.